A wonderful morning I bid to each and every one of you. Welcome, welcome. Selamat datang to another session, another episode, a brand new week for Act Now. Hot issue. What's for lunch with me, Mio Adlan. Hope you guys had a great weekend behind you. Saturday and Sunday, time to rest, time to chill, time to just recuperate and rethink back again on what you plan to do throughout the brand new week. And obviously, over the weekend, it was raining cats and dogs, especially here in the Klang Valley. Hopefully, you guys are safe wherever it is that you are. The meteorology department has also declared that it could actually get worse within these next few days of the strong rains, not just in the Klang Valley, but also in the East Coast, West Coast, Sabah, and Sarawak as well. So we do really hope that you guys are taking care of yourselves. You guys are taking all of the precautions that you need to make sure that you are always safe with your loved ones around you. And also, don't forget, you guys, to download the Act Now mobile community app on the Google Play Store as well as the Apple App Store because of the magicalness and the wonderness of this particular app. It is free, by the way. So all you have to do is just go down to your Apple App Store or Google Play Store, as mentioned. Go find Act Now and you would find the Act Now mobile community app. Download it for free, and you will be surprised how it can actually help you in becoming a much better citizen and also making your community a much better place. Speaking about making your community a much better place, for today's episode, we are still having our YB Sehari edition. That's right, folks. This is actually our third episode that we're doing our exclusive, or should I say, our new brand, which is YB Sehari. This show actually promotes individuals who wants to make a change, who wants to make a difference for their community, yang ingin melakukan perubahan, yang ingin melakukan sesuatu supaya benda-benda ataupun perkara-perkara yang ada di community mereka will be highlighted, akan dilihat dan mungkin akan dibaik pulih, akan ada penambahbaikan. So these individuals really do want to make a difference, and even if they are not MPs yet, even though they are not aduns yet, yeah, you can hear my son, he can't wait to be an adun sooner rather than later. It is all about just wanting to make a difference and wanting to make sure that their concerns are being addressed, and they want to be the ones who would want to address those issues. We've covered a couple of very young, should I say, very charismatic individuals in our previous episode. Kalau you all nak tahu, you all boleh tengok balik on Act Now Trooper, the previous episodes that we've had. But today, we have a bit of a seasoned player. We have a bit of a experienced man, I should say, who really wants to make a change for his people down in Bukit Bintang, P120 to be exact. That person, none other than our beloved friend on the show, Mr. Melvin Lam. Hey, Melvin.
Okay, hi, how are you?
I'm doing good, Melvin. So today is all about you. It's all about YB Sehari with Melvin Lam.
Thanks for your warm introductions, your sincere introductions of me. It's quite funny to be my own guest on the own show.
Exactly, right?
Okay,
No, but
all
but
right.
this is the thing because we have already labeled this particular show YB Sehari. We are not going political. We are not going to talk about oh dia ni buat tak betul. Oh parti ni tak elok. Kawan ni macam katak melompat and everything. We're not going to be talking about that because if we talk about that, until the cows come home, also we will not finish our conversation.
Yes.
But what we want to focus on is what individuals, young or old, man or woman, tak kisahlah, would have the huge desire in wanting to make a change for their community. And you, Melvin, you have even mentioned about this even before we have YB Sahari online that
Yeah.
you really want to make a difference in your community, which is P120 in Bukit Bintang. So, before we go on about your intentions and your semangat, what you want to do for the people of Bukit Bintang, tell us a bit because I tahu Bukit Bintang, I tahu pergi shopping je, Melvin. Share with us
Okay.
information about
All right.
what Bukit Bintang is all about. Sikit, silakan.
First of all, why I choose Bukit Bintang? I don't stay here now, but
Mhm,
my heart is always in Bukit Bintang because I was born here.
mhm,
I see the first high-rise buildings that is built up in Bukit Bintang. That is with Patrick. That is Well Supermarket. Those days in Raja Chulan, I see how Hilton was built up. It's Hotel Istana, all this area. When I born here. BB Park was still around. There was that thing,
mhm.
BB Park. That cinema, the amusement park, and all these things. And my office is also in Bukit Bintang now.
Yeah,
So there's a full American sentiments in Bukit Bintang, and I've been around for almost 60 years, and I see that some changes need to be done, and that's why I say if I have the chance, it's not the chance. I mean, YB Sahari is not the chance to want to be a politician. It's everyone. Just like in probably now the hot topics is in the kopitiam every morning is will be in Johor. People say, oh,
yeah,
it should be done this and this, and why do we take it out when that's the time of general elections? Why? This is why I say this is a good platform that we would want everyone to share how to improve the environment. So zoom
yeah.
into Bukit Bintang. How big is Bukit Bintang?
Yeah, before you
Uh,
actually share with us about information of Bukit Bintang, exactly what Nick has mentioned and
yeah,
what you have said as well, Malvin, you do not need to be a politician to help the community. Politicians are overrated, perhaps. Anyone can
yeah.
help the community if they have the intentions, just like Act. Now, Nick, thank you so much for that
Yeah.
comment. You are
Yeah,
definitely an
thank you,
angel.
thank you. You're a true
So,
supporter.
let's talk about Bukit Bintang. Where is
Okay.
Bukit Bintang? Kalau mungkin orang duduk dekat Arau ke, dia tak pernah sampai KL kan, dia tak tahu Bukit Bintang kat mana.
Well,
Tell us
as
a
a,
bit about Bukit Bintang.
okay, Bukit Bintang, as you translate literally into English, it means hill of star.
Mm,
All right. So it's actually a very strong name. It's actually given. I don't know how it writes. I haven't checked the history yet, but it's a hill of star, and this area covers from Raja Chulans to end of Pudu Road. It covers also where my office is at the moment, MP to Watergurney, and even to KLCC, to Pudu,
okay.
to Chinatown, and even to Salak. All
Mhm,
right. So Bukit Bintang is one of the 11 constitutions in Kuala Lumpur. All right.
mhm,
And the populations here, based on 2018 census, is 104,000. It's not big, heavy populated. It's 104,000. Um, it's actually make up about 5.8% of the total population of Kuala Lumpur,
mhm.
consisting majority Chinese, that's cover about 75%, Malay 12%, Indian 11%, and other ethnics about 1.5%. All right. So
Okay.
this is data extracted from 2018. So it's not that huge, big. The biggest population is actually Sipute, that covers about 270. Sorry, yeah, Sipute. Oh, sorry, Bandar to Razak is actually the biggest, 274,000. Bandar
Okay.
to Razak, yeah, yeah.
All right.
So we have 104,000 populations, but then it's a nerve, I believe, all right, it's a nerve of Kuala Lumpur, where all high rise, the mega stores like KLCC, you have pavilions. Now you have the Bukit Bintang city centers. It's all here.
Yeah.
The 6 star hotel is all situated here. So it's a nerve of the city, I would say, Bukit
Yeah.
Bintang. So I say
And when
a
you
lot
talk about,
need to be done.
yeah, so when you talk about Bukit Bintang, actually, it is where the Golden Triangle is actually located. Golden Triangle is, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, Melvin. Golden Triangle is the point of the Twin Towers to Bukit Bintang, as well as I don't remember what's the other point, but yeah, that's where the Golden Triangle.
To Tun Razak,
Tun Razak.
TRX, where it's supposed to be the financial hubs.
Yeah.
It's more than that. The Golden Triangle is inside Bukit Bintang. It's part of Bukit Bintang, right?
Yeah,
You have the Tower
exactly.
South too. Chinatown is also part of Bukit Bintang, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, well, when you say about Bukit Bintang again, I mean, like, for a layman such as myself, who is a PJ boy through and through,
Mm,
I only know Bukit Bintang when it comes to shopping, like you said, of the hotels, of the life there. People
mm.
go there, a lot of chic things. But yeah, obviously, there are also some other things that we need to be concerned of. Like you said, Bukit Bintang has been around for ages, and there's a lot of things that you personally would like to address and would like to bring it up to your MP to make sure that he listens to you and things should be done because of these matters. We have a few topics, or should I say, a few points that we want to bring up. Let's
Yeah.
go down through these points. The first one you want
Okay.
to touch about is cleanliness. Kotor sangat ke sebenarnya Bukit Bintang ni, Melvin?
Yes, you'll be surprised.
Yeah.
Before the lockdown, I have a friend who visits me from Hong Kong, and I brought him to uh, Jalan Berangan. That's where nearby pavilions, Jalan Bukit Bintang, to have a dinner, to have a Middle Eastern dinner. And when
Mhm.
we went, I mean, that place is a lot of Middle Eastern restaurants and all those things. Nice.
Yeah.
When we walked there, there are piles of heaps of rubbishes everywhere.
Mm.
And this is something so quite embarrassing
Yeah.
for me.
Okay.
All right.
So, do you
Oh,
think that DBKL is not doing their job, or do you think that it's just no enforcement, or just people
first
being
is
lazy?
no, it's the people that's living there.
Okay.
All right. So we have to address to the roots of it and
Mhm.
provide, as one of the say, if I provide bins, signages, and even CCTV. As I say, Bukit Bintang is not that big. It
Yeah.
doesn't cost you that much to have CCTV around the whole of Bukit Bintang, even to the back lane.
Mhm.
And I'm talking
All right.
about a tourist spots where all just right behind nearby Bukit Bintang pavilions and all. There's a lot of nice Middle East restaurants. But then the roads is quite embarrassing. You see piles of rubbish everywhere, and these are what is the educations. And I believe those are also people that stay there for the
Mhm.
convenience. Probably at the evening after midnight, they can just come down and just throw it by the roadside.
So yeah, you talk about wanting to implement, or should I say, install more CCTV to monitor the actions of these irresponsible people. Now, these kind of things, yeah, wouldn't it just be a quick fix? Because having CCTV, being put everywhere around Bukit Bintang area, for instance, do you think that would really help the issue of cleanliness around the area?
Well, not only cleanliness, it's help for security as well.
Mhm.
All right, because we have to start somewhere in Malaysia, someone to implement a pilot project.
Okay.
So we have to pilot project. CCTV works 24 hours a day. If anyone capture, please, we have to publicize this, not in only social media, in all medium, who are the culprits. And this will send in signals, not only in Kuala Lumpur or in Bukit Bintang, throughout the country as well.
Mhm.
I know
All right.
we might say, oh, it's a very harsh, but it's not. We have to do it for the benefits of the communities because these are only the 1% culprits that actually pollute or tarnish the names of Bukit Bintang.
Mhm.
You know, so I wish that it's someone. if I have the chance to be the MP of Bukit Bintang, I will have to work with authorities, DBKL, and others related agencies to implement this.
Mhm.
We have
All right.
roads. I mean, main roads is already covered with CCTV. How the back lanes and all these things.
Okay.
So that, and then enough signages to be around. In fact, I would love when you enter the border of Bukit Bintang, you will have a signages of welcome. I say, this is zone Bukit Bintang. Please do not dump rubbish. Please behave.
Yeah, just like the big gates of, if you enter the CBD area in Singapore, you
Yeah,
have a proper signage to make sure that there's a bit of a distinguish between different districts and everything. You
yeah,
did mention something about security, yeah, lah, because the CCTV are not just there to monitor,
mm,
people doing illegal dumping, buang sampah and whatnot. Security is definitely one of the issues, if not one of the biggest issues in any city for that matter, and
yes.
Bukit Bintang is smack in the middle of the city of Kuala Lumpur. What extra bit that we can do actually in regards of security that you would want to offer, or you want to change for
You see,
the district of Bukit Bintang?
now, all right. You say Bukit Bintang, they say we have a lot. I mean, when the borders are all open up, we hope that tourists comes back again. Uh, everyone's, I say, from Petar, you will come down here for shopping. We want people to feel safe on the streets any time of the day. So besides CCTV, I would like to engage Rayla.
Okay.
You know, it's also a opportunity for employment because people pay Rayla to and Rayla actually acts uh, as a police officer. They're empowered to act as a police officer.
Mhm.
To be on patrol.
Okay.
With the buy and all this go around because how to get the fundings? Sometimes you ask me. I think all big corporations in Bukit Bintang, like hotels, shopping malls, should contribute to the fundings to the pool so that the surroundings, I mean, it's a heaven for security. People feel
So,
safe to walk at night, coming out from your house, and then those illegals, business, they will have to watch out in all this.
but are you saying that the current police bantuan that they are roaming around Kuala Lumpur, roaming around Bukit Bintang area, they are not enough? They're not. They
I
are
don't
they
feel it's
insufficient?
I don't feel it's enough. You should have stations like okay, two by okay, that Alo, Pokemon, this is Imbi, you have to patrol it. And this so-called Rela, let's say I will employ Rela, also as ambassador to for anyone to especially tourists, they need guides, guidance, where to get this, where to go this.
Mhm.
So it's a very friendly place. Bukit Bintang is tourist friendly and it gives you the extra comfort of walking. Let's say you can't travel to Bukit Bintang, you stay here alone. You don't feel so-called, you feel safe or you don't feel like, oh, should I go out alone?
Right.
You know? So that I say be more visible, have more pondok, like tourist information center or where people who are pickpockets can go there to ask for help.
Okay. We will
Right.
definitely touch more about how we would be able to actually have all of these things, because again, at the end of the day, when you
Mm.
ask for stuff, a lot of people will actually ask you back, what about the funding, as you mentioned, Melvin? What about the funding? Nak dapat duit daripada mana? We'll touch about that
Yeah.
at later, at a later point during our conversation here. I do want to go through the points that you have
Yeah.
actually that you want to talk about in regards of the district of P120, which is Bukit Bintang. Let's
Mm.
talk more about cleanliness, because when we talk about cleanliness, people throw rubbish, it would go into the drain, and drains get clogged up, and then
Yes.
KL selalu banjir kilat. Now,
Yes.
this
Banyak
is a
kilat.
definite major issue that is happening in Kuala Lumpur right now. Such a big city, we got hundreds of stories of building, but bawah tu macam area kampung mana yang tak asyik banjir je. Now, this is definitely one of your concerns as well, right?
Yes, the drainage systems we have might have probably, if it's possible, during the rainy season, you have to every day. Please deploy your people there to check your drainage, mix things that's clean up, no clog, things that clog it that cause flush. so-called floods, and especially that's those high-rise, those developments in the high-rise buildings around, let's say, my TRX and all those things. You
Mhm.
see the excuse is, oh yes, we are doing a development now. That's why the drainage or whatever is being clogged or is
Lumpur
not
lah,
proper.
tanah lah, whatever lah.
Yeah, those is pure excuse. So any developments that's taking place in Bukit Bintang, make sure at all times the surrounding drainage is working clean up.
Mhm.
You know, it can't be excuse because I like there's a high. I mean, the property I'm building here. That's why the road is in imbalance. You get potholes here because of the heavy vehicles that pass by, the sand,
Yeah.
breaking up the sand, or all these things. There's no excuse because the community surrounding is actually suffering because of you that developing that
Mhm.
area.
Yeah.
They should not be
Exactly.
passing all this to them.
Yeah, things
So,
definitely needs to
mm,
be orang Melayu kata harus dipantau dengan lebih aggressive.
yeah,
Enforcement really needs to kick it up a notch in making sure that in development there's always going to be development, especially in the city like Kuala Lumpur. Development is a never ending thing. Pantang nampak ada tanah kecil je park naik bangunan. Nampak ada tanah
yes,
kecil je another building comes up. Speaking about building, Malaysia as a whole, Kuala Lumpur if you look at it micro, we have a lot of famous buildings. We have Bangunan Sultan Abdul Samad along and then we have plenty of old types of building along Jalan Tunku
yes.
Abdul Rahman.
Mm.
Even Kampung Baru is actually a heritage place as well. Problem is that orang mengejar kekayaan. People want to sell development. They want to have modernization. They want to do all these kind of things. And a lot of concern has been expressed in regards of keeping all of these old heritage buildings for them to be intact and keep in place. What do you think about this?
Yes, I have to because this is part of the units of the city of Bukit Bintang. You find a lot of pre-war or even 100 years old, about close to 100 years old buildings around in Bukit Bintang, but it's not well maintained.
Mhm.
We have to enforce the law that the owner has to maintain, and if the paint runs wear off, they have to repaint it. Otherwise, DBK will have to come in to paint for you and they bill you
Mm.
in your assessments. So because it's all part of beautifications of the city. I mean, in
Yeah.
particular in Bukit Bintang, I'm talking about representing Bukit Bintang. Um, we can't have one bad spot apple in a basket. Now we have
Yeah.
nice building, restaurants, cafe, but then you have one or two rundown, unmaintained buildings around. You know?
Understand.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Personal sentiment. How did you feel when they tore down Pudu Jail to come up with the new BB Plaza, whatever it's called? Don't you
First
think
of
that the
all,
Pudu Jail actually, had a? I mean, like it's a bit of a. I mean, it's an building, it's a jail, no less. I mean, it's a prison. But to me, it's a bit of a macam sayang lah hilang Pudu Jail tu. What do you think about that?
building jail has a history of 100 over years. First
Mm.
of all, it was when it was built, Kuala Lumpur or Bukit Bintang is very like a village. It's
Mhm.
not. It is like a village land. When times goes, that Puduja was too small to
Mhm.
handle all the
We
so-called
have too
household.
many bad people, kan?
Yeah. It's getting too small. Um, and I mean, it's in the city. Land is getting scarce. I think it's for
Uh-huh.
the developments. It's good because how do we grow the city? We can ask Selangor to give us an extra piece of land, to grow that way. So we have to
Mm.
go upwards. But then we have to be. I'm glad they actually retain the main entrance.
Yeah.
I hope that don't suddenly one day it disappear. No, that is
Mhm.
actually in a history.
Mhm.
Yeah, the development is necessary because Kuala Lumpur is Bukit Bintang is just very small,
Yeah.
right? Where else? But then, do not overdevelop to an expense of the communities.
Mhm.
I don't know. I mean, it's too late to question. But all these high-rise projects, all this mega project, does it contribute to the floods, the fresh floods in the city?
But at least people are getting richer by the taller buildings that's being
Um,
built.
Certain people, only a very small category, probably they are not even
Yeah.
staying in. Probably they not even stay in born in Bukit Bintang like me. They don't
Mhm.
even care. They want the money. But these are the
Yeah.
people, when times are bad, they will ask the government for help.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't build, I can't sell, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Minta kurangkan cukai lah, minta pampasan lah, all those kind of
yeah.
things, right?
So that is a main subject. I mean, what you have a nice city after just a rain that it floods, you know.
Yeah, it is definitely a concern. You know, people who are living in cities like Kuala Lumpur, you guys definitely have an experience. You know, facing floods, even though it's a flash flood, but it's flood nonetheless, and it is very very troublesome. You know, for us to actually go through this. Okay, let's jump gears a bit. Now we want to talk about you know, sources where people could actually make you know, make their ends meet. You know, businesses, hawker centers, all these kind of things. You see a lot of these places being you know, they're like cendawan after the rain, you know, mushrooms after the rain. They tend to pop up in every corner that you see. A lot of people wanting to take the advantage of making business or doing business in the city of Kuala Lumpur, in the area of Bukit Bintang, because they know that that's where people go in. Do you have any issues with hawker centers as well as all of this businesses being done, or is there a better way for them to actually do this, Melvin?
First of all, we don't have enough of real made good hawker centers like in
Mm,
Singapore. You know, that is the another units attractions for tourists. Now, people here tends to open here there illegally, and
mm,
what they do when business is over, they leave the store behind. They will throw all the rubbish behind.
mhm.
This is what happening.
Yeah.
You know, so the government, I mean, not government, the DBKL should have nice hawker centers around the Bukit Bintang area.
Mhm.
Maintain it, have so-called a good mix of crowds. I mean, foods that's offering, you know, make it as attractions to tourists, because not all tourists come here have to go dine in a 5-star, 6-star, 4 stars. They try to have local
Yeah.
food. I think one of the goods, I wouldn't, probably, yeah, it's called hawker center or food center, like down a lot in the evening.
Mhm.
They pave the
Yeah.
roads nicely. They make sure when the business is closed, everyone have to clean it up.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
so we should have more of that. We do not. China Outlaw is very famous. You know,
Yep.
when everyone will, okay, stay around, will walk to Jalan Outlaw if they stay nearby, but we should have more than that, and we should stop all those mushrooms and those people, because we offer them a real decent, nice place, and this could
Mhm.
be not only the local communities, people surrounding. I mean, coming in from for probably you coming in to Colombo evening. Let's go to Bukit Bintang or one area for our dinner,
Mm.
you know, and the tourists as well. So we do not have enough of those,
Mhm. I
you
mean,
know.
like, okay, you look at the. I mean, like, you have a point there in saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should have more hawker centers around. But okay, let's be realistic here, because having such places, hawker centers, you need a kind of a big piece of land for you to actually have that open air kind of thing. Because the hawker center that I can remember is actually inside Sungai Wang Plaza, which is on what, on the fifth floor, on the sixth floor, that big food court area. Those places are somewhat hidden from people, because like when tourists go you know, walk around in Bukit
Mm.
Bintang area, they literally have to enter a mall and go up a few flights of stairs, then only see the food court area. To actually have it open like what you would have in Singapore, you need that plot of land. Even Singapore have that land. Where can we have these hawker centers? You think? Any idea?
I
Ada tanah
think
lagi ke?
we still have a fair bit of tanah. All right.
Hmm.
If the government actually I'm not talking about politics here, but I just want to
Hmm.
highlight around my area. It used to
Hmm.
be a nice
Your area
car
in
park.
B, right?
Yeah, a nice
Hmm.
car park. Evening turn into a hawker center,
Hmm.
and that piece of land is actually DPKL or government owned, but it was
Hmm.
sold off.
Hmm.
There's at least
For a
two pieces.
building.
Yeah, to a private sector. There's at least two pieces here in IMB. You
Hmm.
know, so that is something not right. I say you left people in general, the community in general, you left them to
Hmm.
have less opportunity. But you can build it up. But your requestable, okay, give me 2-3 floors. Make sure they have a separate lift and whatever it is that's access to this food court,
Hmm.
because it's for communities. And my God, I tell you, let's say we are workers here in Bukit Bintang, let's say in MB, there's not many places that you can afford a decent, I mean, as a staff employee. That everything is now you go there, it's all 5 stars price.
Yep.
How could you
Yelah,
afford
one
that?
nasi goreng RM30 mah.
Yeah, So as a staff, or even a white collar staff, that even 3-4 thousand, let's say executive, the
Mhm.
lunch could be pretty expensive.
Yep.
So we need more of this. Okay, I give you yes, private sector, you build a mall, whatever, but please give a portion of it dedicated to the mass.
Mm. All
That
right.
should be a way. Otherwise, everything here in Bukit Minang is getting so expensive now, just for a meal, just for a single meal.
Yeah. I think the
Okay,
cost of living
I did not
in
know that a plate of until last week. I never have this for I think longest time. Goreng mee, Maggi mee.
me. Okay.
All right, it cost me 8 ringgit with just one egg.
Mm. Telur mata. Yep.
In Bukit Bintang in B.
Mhm.
A
Yeah.
plain modest mee goreng and instant noodle goreng with one fried eight ringgit.
Yeah, that's I mean like that's the what you call it. That's the backlash of inflation, whatever it is. Especially when
Yeah,
you're talking about city living. Granted, we may not be one of the most expensive cities to live in, Kuala Lumpur to be exact, but
yeah.
yeah, we're definitely getting up there in regards of such a high cost living. Hence why right now I want to talk about the people right now.
Yeah.
There's two parties that I want to talk about, but let's focus on the first one here first. You said that in Bukit Bintang area itself, only in Bukit Bintang, there's about 104,000 registered voters. Well, people living in Bukit Bintang.
People living here.
Yeah, people living in Bukit Bintang. So, obviously, in any cities, any areas for that matter, there's always this separation between the B40, M40, as well as the T20. Again, this is just something yang kita cerita 3 tahun dulu. Now it could be B50, it could be M50 for that matter. I have no idea, but yeah, let's just talk about B40 for instance. So how would you address the issues that the B40 people are having right now? What kind of help or what kind of assistance that you think
Uh,
needs to be given to the B40
First,
apart from what the government is doing?
I want to zoom into where they stay. Usually, they stay in the Pangsapuri for so-called
PPR.
road. Yeah, the
Mhm.
public flats and all these things.
Yep.
10 out of 10 is not well taken. Leaf broken, not
Yep.
repaired. Some of them they say that because they don't pay their maintenance fees.
Mhm.
Please, that category of people when stay there, if they can have foods on table, they're very blessed. They're very happy. Don't talk about that. I think government should start with the maintenance of the building, give them a nice coat of buildings, paints, make sure the lift are in proper so they can at least
Mm.
live in a more decent life. And people that comes in, let's say tourists, that pass by this kind of flats or apartments, at least it look decent, clean.
Mhm. Yep.
So the I would say it ends up with DPKL or those related agency that owns this manage them. Please take care of them. You know,
Yeah.
I think is I have seen the flights. They walk flights up and down
Oh,
every day to climb up. What if that's a seniors there?
yeah.
And
Exactly.
people have actual incidents caught in the lift and die.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah.
so this at least we can do back to humanitarians, do back to the society.
Hmm. And
Yeah.
address all of these issues to make sure that because we tend to forget actually, the people at the end of the day, I mean like at the end of the day they're still people, diorang masih lagi manusia, they're human
Yes,
beings, they breathe
they're
the
the
same
part of the
air as us.
economic change. You can't
Yeah,
live. The rich can't live without them. The rich will not be richer without them. To put it this way.
yeah, yeah. So they need to be attended and need to be looked after very very well. Now another side of it, because again, being a city, being Bukit Bintang,
Yeah.
high level, you got your Chanel, you got your Louis Vuitton, you got your Gucci's, people driving Mercedes, Beamers and whatnot. You can't help but notice as well by the side of the road, dekat kaki lima, back alleys and everything, there are a lot of homeless people living in the city of Kuala Lumpur in the Bukit Bintang area. Now, how would you want to address this issue? Because these are really people without a home. Some of them do have work, they do go to work during work hours, but they can't afford to actually live in a house, a proper room, even because their pay cannot sustain it. Hence why they're living on the streets. What would you like to initiate, or should I say, propose, Melvin?
Yes, it's sad thing because that's quite a fair bit. I mean, if I to take down and walk around just in my office,
Hmm.
I find people actually sleep outside the walkway, and just a slow tones away from my office is so called what's the center that's give out I just slipped my mind, that give out food
It's a food
just
bank or something, lah.
yeah, it's a food bank. That's a special name for it. Just around
Yeah,
the corner.
homeless shelter, I
They're
guess.
not shelter. They're here. They provide meals
Oh,
and
soup kitchen.
soup kitchens. Sorry, there's soup kitchen. Just around the corner, and
Mhm,
down my office, just next 2 blocks. In the afternoon, you find people sleeping on the walkway, even next to the bank.
mhm. Yep.
Right. Despite this, is very heavy traffic roads, dan to Aman and
Mhm,
all these things. So what I hope the authorities will have to work with Jabatan Kebajikan, right,
mhm.
to actually bring them to this center, house them. You have to, of course, these homeless people most of the time do not want to be move away to the center. You have to persuade them, talk
Mhm.
to them, you know, because they tell to them, instead of on the streets, you'll be taking care. At least your basic necessity is taking care. You have a warm place. You will not be exposed. I mean, it's been raining last few days. They all get wet and soaked in midnight when they sleep. They don't even have a proper blanket.
Yeah.
You know. So, but it would have to work with the Japan Kebajikan, the railway ministry, to comb, so-called monitor these situations. Do not force them, because force them is no good. I mean, they're still human. They
Yep.
probably have some issue why they want to be remain as homeless, so-called, on the streets. Talk to them, pursue them, and bring them. It will take times, but then we need to act on it.
Mhm.
You know.
Definitely.
Uh,
It is something that we need to look into, because again,
yeah,
when we talk about humanity, regardless of, whoever they may be, whoever it is that we are,
yeah.
some of us are blessed, some of us are not that blessed. So hence why we need to reach out and work together, because these people represent our community as well. We're running out of time, but I do want to give you a couple of minutes for you to talk about a special event. You actually wrote this in bold, that you actually want to propose to DBKL ke, to the
First,
Dewan, apa what you call it, Datuk Bandar Kuala Lumpur,
yeah,
specifically
yeah,
to
yeah.
cater to Bukit Bintang. What is this event that you're talking about, Melvin?
First of all, before we go to the event, I think I say Bukit Bintang is just part of the 11 constitutions. I think I would take the initiative to work with the others 10
Mm,
constitutions, because we're under the label of Kuala Lumpur, the city of Malaysia,
mhm.
the metropolitans of Malaysia. So we have to work, because it's also not good that after passing Bukit Bintang, you see another uh,
Kan
a
tiba-tiba
slum.
like such a gorgeous place, and then suddenly you masuk hutan kan. No,
Yeah.
you don't
So
want
it's
that,
for
right?
Kuala Lumpur, and we had to work together with the level 10 other MPs, right? So I would
Mhm.
like to have, if I have the chance, to organize an international yearly event of Bukit Bintang,
Mm,
you know, to have this we have probably have an event, not just a showcase or hoo-ha or shopping and all this, but more you have more intellectual program. We invite others, mayors, cities, or MPs from other cities to have conventions here, you know. Then probably
so you won't have any sexy dancing girls showing legs and whatnot lah.
no, and we don't have even probably Tudong Rock. The first time I heard about Tudong Rock.
Okay, side joke there, but yeah, I mean, like,
No,
this is
no, no, it's
obviously
not
to
joke.
promote. This
Probably
is
it's more like intellectual things, like how
all
to
right.
bring your city to a next level without neglecting the community.
All right.
Because all the rich are all those advancements, it's only for the rich.
Mhm.
No, we want also not to forget the less fortunate people, like our B40 group
Yeah,
should not be netted at all. While we also want to advance our city.
exactly. Yeah,
All
we
right.
definitely
So
cannot just look at one place. And this also obviously to promote tourism as well, right? To bring
yeah,
income into Bukit Bintang, right?
yes, that's right. I mean, all the hotels will be very happy. So everyone chip in. I mean, Bukit Bintang, there's a lot of business entities. Everyone chips in. You
Yeah,
know, everyone chips in, make it better attractions. You know, so that is, I say, the funding. We also private sector should contribute. We have all the big malls here. So when we have these conventions or plus some uh, uh, entertainments, but not as what
mm,
scheming type of pure family wholesome entertainments, or even
mm,
a shopping kind of paradise for that few days. You know, when we have these conventions, you know,
yeah,
so everyone benefits, even the F and
yeah,
B, you know, and all
yeah,
these things.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and especially also the smaller shops, your mom and pop shops, your hawker centers, people who are
Yes.
selling local delicacies yang mungkin nak bawa buah-buahan tempatan and whatnot. This would be definitely a place where they can actually showcase, because this is the identity not just to Bukit Bintang, not just to Kuala Lumpur, but to
Uh,
Malaysia as well.
that's right.
Moving
That's right. You're so
forward,
right.
Melvin Lam, YB Sehari. Wow, kalau you I punya MP kan.
Uh,
Okay, susah juga nak cerita dengan you MPI ni. Macam banyak juga
no,
cerita je bah.
what I touch on is non-political. I just want to have
Yep,
a good community, a healthy communities, and a
exactly.
healthy place. People comes here have a good perceptions of Bukit Bintang, Kuala Lumpur as a general. You know?
Exactly. So it's all about wanting a change, not just for the sake of changing, but changing for the better, and not just for your own selfish reason, but for the sake of the community, helping out people who are in dire need of help, wanting to make sure that changes are made for the betterment of other people as well. That is what YB Sahari is all about. That's what the show
Yes,
is all
that's
about,
right.
to showcase the environment, or should I say, to showcase the community and wanting to act upon it and inject some positiveness into it as well. Marvin, thank you so much for coming onto the show as a guest. As a guest, because next time you're coming onto the show, you're not going to be a guest anymore. Okay,
Oh yes,
you're
yes, yes. I will make excuses to be a guest. I
you
enjoying
make
my
excuses
moment.
for sure. Thanks a lot, Melvin. We'll see you soon, Melvin.
All
Thanks.
right, all right.
All
Thanks.
right,
Take care.
bye. All right, Melvin Lam together with me, Mio Adlan, on our Monday show of YB Sari. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Yeah, that's about it, folks. It's all about wanting to make a better change, and we don't just wanna we don't just want people to come on the show and talk about it. We do want people to have some actions to it and share with us what are those kind of actions that you want to implement, what changes that you want to affect your area untuk kebaikan orang-orang di dalam community anda. All right, that's it for now. That's it for this Monday's edition. We'll be back on Wednesday for more hot issue on Act Now Trooper. Make sure you guys share our video. Make sure you guys like and comment our video as well. Hope to see you guys on Wednesday, same time. Take care, guys. Bye.